on PTT, and we are having such a wonderful time this morning. It's all about Tobago Thursdays. The focus is on youth this morning, and we have on the line with us Miss Anne-Marie Degazon, the Youth Development Director, Division of the Sport and Youth Affairs of the THA. Good morning, Miss Degazon. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Such a wonderful name, I must say. You know, lighting up our screens this morning. But I mean, the topic this morning is youth consultation, inclusion takes heart. You know, tell us about the theme for this discussion this morning.
You know, I think the theme of today somehow is about isolation. Persons have been separated, we're operating in different spaces and so on. And the youth policy seeks to bring our young persons together, to help them to understand that we are on the same side, we are working for the same objectives, and we do want to focus on ensuring that all categories of young persons are included. So when we speak to inclusion, we're speaking about one voice, us collaborating and working together, that all the elements of youth are going to be represented, not only in the consultation, but in the policy positions that are adopted thereafter.
Now, when did this idea, when did this all come together? And of course, in terms of the conceptualization of this initiative?
We actually started working as a division on the policy in 2019. It probably was conceptualized even before then, because we did have a youth empowerment strategy 2015 to 2020. And so as that period was coming to end, the division thought it best to look at the framework for how we would focus on developing our young persons in Tobago. So that process began late 2019. We finally began early 2020. However, with the COVID-19 situation, it did pose some challenges to us to reconceptualize, because our intent was to engage young persons in face-to-face forums in very active mediums. However, we have regrouped and we are here again. And in particular, with the passing of the National Youth Policy, which took place earlier this year, it also provides us the framework and the impetus to move forward in developing the Tobago Youth Empowerment Strategy document, which will guide how the Tobago House of Assembly and the other elements of Tobago approach youth work and youth development.
Now, what has the contribution been like and the feedback from the young people that you've received so far?
Well, we put it to the airwaves just yesterday. We started with our survey instrument that is out there right now, asking persons to respond. And I think it has been heartening. Persons are eager to give their contribution. And I think especially now, because one would appreciate that the environment for youth development has changed, and has changed significantly. Issues of economic participation, employment, job security, food security, things that are concerning our young persons now. Where do they go from here? Many have been focused in preparing in a certain direction where they felt comfortable with their job selection and their career choices. And now many of them have to rethink those positions and rethink it almost in a vacuum, where there is not clear direction where the economy and the country is going. And this is a global situation that is affecting many youth. So there is interest, there is excitement, but I want to say also that some young persons are a bit timid, a bit skeptical, because, you know, this is like, hey, we've been talking, you know, it comes sometimes as if we've done this before. And hence the reason we went with the theme that we are looking at. We are including you. You are part of this. And it's about trusting the process, as well as trusting what we will come up at the end of it.
I know that Tobago still has a level of hesitancy as it applies to the vaccine, that is. What is the division's position in terms of encouraging these same young people in taking the vaccine? And I understand that there are so many more choices now available in Tobago.
Almost definitely. And the division has clearly taking a position of encouraging young persons to be responsible in their decision making, to examine the facts, examine the situation that is out there, to gather as much information as they can so that they can make safe and healthy decisions. And that, in fact, is an element of the policy. The policy speaks to health and wellness, promoting responsible decision-making, participation in democracy. And so the division encourages young persons to examine the facts and make healthy decisions as it relates to the vaccination and as it relates to all the other health issues that are affecting our young persons. As you know, that many young persons are affected by some of the same comorbidities that are out there, and we trust that they will make the right decisions concerning their health and the risks that are posed to them at this time.
And that is all good. But what about reaching the parents themselves? Because the young people, sometimes they're examples of what they see at home. In terms of reaching the parents, how successful has the division been in terms of reaching out and connecting with the parents of those same young people?
I must say that that has been a challenge for us. And in the past, even in terms of our programming, as we roll that out, parental involvement has waned a little bit over the years, but we are encouraged that there are some parents that are still stepping up and doing their role in ensuring that our young persons are safe, that they take advantage of the opportunities that are there to them. So we do have a strong push. Tobago, as you know, is a place of community, and traditionally we have subscribe to the view that the community raises the child. And I think although we have seen some changes in that in recent years, we are still encouraged that there are many parents out there who are supporting the work of developing their young persons.
Is there a mentorship type program? Are the young people who have passed through the program maybe or passing through, are they maybe giving back and mentoring the other ones coming up? Or are you seeking on the outside to maybe invite some of those, what do you say, celebrity type persons to come and speak to those young persons?
Well, I would say that that's something that we got really excited about in planning for this period of consultation. And we will be really happy. You know, we thought about the voices that our young people listen to. And very often some of those voices are negative voices, you know, promoting a type of lifestyle that may not necessarily contribute to civic participation and national development and some of those good feel-good things that we think about. And so it is important. Some of the young persons called names for us that they look up to. And so that is a work in progress for us. We would have hoped that during this policy consultation period, that it would allow for some of those persons to step up and say, hey, listen, we are saying to our young persons, participate, you know, share your views, come out there. And we hope that very soon we will be able to have some of those voices coming forward in this process that we are in. But at this stage, we are not so much at the program or at the intervention stage. We are still right now at the policy development stage. And that is an important part for us because the product is as important, or I would say the process is as important as the end product. And in youth and youth development, the process is even more significant because in this inclusion effort that we are in, that's what we need to have buy-in so that when we do get to the stage of the implementation, the young persons are saying, I'm with this because my voice was heard. The division listened to me, I gave my views, and that was taken on board in deciding on what are the policy frameworks and the interventions that will be done for young people in Tobago. And that's why we're saying it takes heart. It takes heart on the part of the division to ensure that we remain focused in this process. It takes heart on behalf of our political directorate and the environment that we operate in. It takes heart for us to reach out and to hear whether they are dissenting or assenting views. And what we want to say to our young persons out there this morning is that we are staying with the process. We want to hear from you. You are included in this development agenda so that the end product that we have, the Tobago Youth Empowerment Strategy, will not only be a position of the Division of Sport and Youth Affairs, but it will be a position adopted by the young people of Tobago.
And just before we wrap, I see that you have the range from 10 to 35, so I'm still falling within there. But
I would think.
but what are some of the views or ideas that might have been shared with as you compare a 10-year-old to maybe a 35-year-old?
I think the issue of the social inclusion is one. I think there has been some concern, some of the early comments, I'm trying to recall, I looked at some of them just last night. Some of the early concerns from that younger age group would be issues of environmental concern. I was a bit surprised by that one that came up, and pollution. Leadership and governance is another issue of concern for them because they're looking at where they see their future. They were concerned about the online schooling, I think, and how they are adjusting to it. And that medium that now separates them from interacting with their peers and so on. They were concerned about the issue of this vaccination and what's happening now, because it seems to be impacting on what their normal life or the normal life that they were accustomed to. So from that early age group so far, those were the concerns that were coming up, and we are filtering them through so that they're coming in one by one. The questionnaire is out there, it's online, can be found on our division's website, and so we're encouraging all young persons. And I'm happy you asked that question because I'm particularly interested in the view of that younger age group because they are our future.
Definitely. Ms. I want to thank you very much for chatting with us on the Now Morning Show. I wish you all the success with the program, and of course to all those who are participating and the parents, you know, all the success, of course, coming from all of us here on the Now Morning Show. We wish you the very best. So have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much. Of course, the Now Morning Show continues. We've got music coming up. You're going to join rock us. For that, stay with us. Now Morning Show on TTT.
So, can you show me the way?